I want you to picture this. Look at 3 months ago, 3 months into retirement, say. You're at a dinner party, new people, good conversation. Someone reaches across the table, shakes your hand, and asks the most ordinary question in the world. So what is it you do? And for the first time in 30 years, you don't have an answer. You could say what you used to do, but that feels kind of hollow, kind of empty right now. But, kind of like wearing a name tag from a conference that you left months ago. You could say, I'm retired, but that feels like describing a status and not a person. So you pause. And in that pause, in that brief, slightly uncomfortable silence, something important is happening. That's not awkwardness, folks. That's an identity crisis. Hey, welcome back. My name is Bill Bergfeld, and this is Retirement Survival Secrets. This is episode 3 of our June series. We started with sleep, then we talked about money, and today we get into the question that, honestly, underlies both of those things. The one thing I think matters more than any number in any account. Who are you when the work is done? If you haven't watched episodes 1 and episode 2, the links are in the description. Go check them out. They set up everything we're exploring today, but even if this is your first video with us, stay with me. This one stands on its own merits. Here's something that surprises almost everyone who retires. You spend decades building a career, and somewhere along the way, without ever meaning to, without ever even noticing, your career becomes your identity. Not just what you do, but it becomes who you are. The title, the company, the role, even the expertise. These aren't job descriptions. They're just the architecture of how you understand yourself, how you introduce yourself, how you know where you fit in the world. I'm a sales director. I'm a school principal. I'm a civil engineer. 5 words or fewer. An entire identity delivered on demand. Then retirement arrives, and the loan comes due. The title's gone. The company email stops working, I think, probably. The organizational chart gets restructured without your name on it, and suddenly, the identity you've worn for decades no longer belongs to you. This is disorienting in ways that are genuinely hard for anyone to even anticipate. Many retirees, I think, describe a kind of grief in the early months. Not grief for the work itself, but for the clarity of knowing exactly who they were. The borrowed identity was comfortable. Losing it feels like losing a piece of yourself, even when retirement was something you eagerly chose. Now, here's the deeper layer, and this connects directly to both episodes we've already done this month. In episode 1, we talked about the 5 pillars your career was providing. Remember? Rhythm, identity, belonging, capability, and purpose. In episode 2, we talked about how building a retirement life that genuinely fills those pillars costs something, and why the lifestyle comes first. The math comes second. Today, we're going all the way to the root because here's what I've come to believe. The sleep problems, the money anxiety, the restlessness, the feeling that something is missing, even when everything looks fine on paper, they all trace back to the same source, an identity that hasn't been rebuilt yet. When you don't know who you are in this chapter, you can't sleep. When you don't know who you're building, no number feels like enough. When you can't answer, what do? You pull back from the dinner party, the clubs, the new communities that could be transforming your retirement. Identity isn't, folks, it isn't just a philosophical question. It's the foundation that everything else in retirement is built on. The solution? The solution's hope. Here's the great news, and I want you to really hear this. The identity crisis of retirement is not permanent. It's a transition. It's a shift. And like any transition, it has a path through. The path starts with a shift in how you approach the question. Most people, when they feel the identity vacuum immediately, go looking for a replacement label. I'm a retiree. I'm a grandparent. I'm a golfer. And those things are real and meaningful, but they tend to feel thin as primary identities because they describe a status or just an activity, not a direction or a value. The stronger path is to rebuild identity from the inside out, not from a new label, from your values, your strengths, and the direction you want to move. Here's an exercise I want you to try. Try it today if you can. Finish this sentence out loud 3 times, different each time. Right now, I am a person who. Notice which version lands in your body with relief. Not the most impressive version, not the most socially acceptable one, the one that feels true for you. That's your starting point. From there, you can build what I think of as a living identity, one rooted in who you are and who you're becoming, not who you used to be. Something like, I help people navigate the part of retirement that financial planning doesn't cover. Or I'm building a serious photography practice and mentoring 2 young people in the field. Or I'm the person in my community who shows up, contributes, and makes everything better. These introductions feel awkward at first. They take practice, but it's repetition that makes them sit and lock in. That's what's important. This is exactly the work that the $9 Retirement Survival Secrets ebook was built around. It's what goes deep on all 5 pillars: rhythm, identity, belonging, capability, purpose, with specific exercises, real-world examples, and a complete week-by-week framework for rebuilding your retirement life from the inside out. At $9, it's the most practical investment you can make in your retirement this month. The link is in the description. And if you haven't grabbed the free Pivot Readiness Score yet, do that first. I'll show you exactly which pillars need your attention most so the ebook work lands where it matters. 3 things you can do this week to start rebuilding your identity in retirement. Quick win number 1, do the 3-sentence exercise that I talked about. Right now, I'm a person who. 3 times, out loud. Write the versions down. Sit with the one that feels most true. That's your working identity. That's the starting point. It's not the final answer. Quick win number 2, update 1 visible signal. Change your social media bio. Update how you introduce yourself at the next social event you attend. Write a 1-paragraph description of yourself that doesn't reference your former job title. Folks, this isn't vanity. It's a declaration that the new chapter has begun. And now, quick win number 3, find one community that expects you. Belonging and identity are deeply intertwined. When a community knows your name and notices your absence, your identity is being confirmed and reinforced every week. If you don't have that community yet, make finding it your one priority this week. Here's what I want to leave you with. The dinner party question, what do? It's not something to dread, folks. It's not something to dread in retirement. It's an invitation to say something true about who you are in this chapter and where you're headed with your retirement life. You've earned the right to answer that question on your own terms. The work of this episode and this whole series really is about building the foundation that makes that possible. Next week is going to be our final episode of the June series, the June-July series. And it's the most practically actionable one that we've done yet. We're breaking down Social Security in plain language, what it is, when to claim it, and how it connects to everything we built this month. You don't want to miss that one. Hit subscribe if you haven't. Like this video if it resonated, and drop a comment below. What's your answer to the 3-sentence exercise? Right now, I am a person who. I'd love to read it. I'm Bill Bergfeld, and this is Retirement Survival Secrets. You've worked hard to get here. Let's make sure it counts. Have a great day.